Hey guys, HuShang here. Welcome to another Zerg Basics video. In this one, we're going to be looking at injects. So I'm in here a little replay against the AI, just so we can example it. And basically, there's two methods. So there's one method that's kind of, doesn't require any setup. And then there's another method that is way faster. You're going to want to learn this for sure. But it requires a little bit of setup. So sometimes you're going to use, the easy method. Sometimes you're going to use the a little bit more advanced method, but definitely we'll want to learn both. Okay, so let's start with the easy method. So the easy method is we basically jump to our main base. You're going to want to have a camera key to do this. We're going to hit F1. If you don't have the camera keys set up, then you're going to want to check out my video on how to do that. Once we hit F1, we're going to select the queen. You can either click on the queen or you can do a box. You'll notice that we're selecting the drones in the box, but it doesn't matter because when you hit the inject key, you can still, your queen is still prioritized, and it just doesn't matter. So we can do the inject like this. Just be careful and don't right click. Okay, so box inject, F2, box inject. You might wonder, why are we boxing instead of just clicking on the queen? Like, why is it better to box? Because it seems like this takes up more time in a way, because we're making a huge gigantic movement here, whereas we could be precise and do this. But the reason is basically because in this game the most important skill is multitasking. So instead of looking at the queen, clicking on it, having to be very precise, and then inject, instead we can do this. And you can basically always select the queen, even if you're, cooking dinner at the same time. You can be flipping some rice or whatever, and you can still hit your queens. Or maybe more practical than cooking the rice is you could check your money and your supply, and start preparing the next things in, whatever you're doing. Like maybe you can realize, oh, I'm going to get supply blocked as I'm injecting. So then your brain's kind of ready to make these overlords. So that's the advantage. That is the easy method. Maybe let me just go through all the bases here and inject so you can see how fast it is. So we can box, 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 box. Oop, missed that last one. It's not too bad. It's okay. Like if you're playing a slow, methodical macro game, it's not going to be too bad. But as soon as you start to play games that require a lot of speed, it's going to be a little slow actually. So I'm going to show you a faster method. Let me just play through the injects on the faster method so you can see how much faster it actually is, and then I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so this is the faster method. Oh, I actually messed up the last one. So quite quick. All right, so in order to do this faster method, you're going to want to have all your queens hotkeyed first of all. So you can see all my queens are on 9 here, which is not actually 9. If I was using 9, that would be ridiculous. It's actually my tab key. So it's quite close to the left side of my keyboard. We've got all the queens on there. And the nice thing about this is no matter which base you're at, the AI in Starcraft is going to choose the closest queen. So you can see I'm just injecting and it's always the closest queen. Why is this AI over here killing my shit? Alright, I made these links specifically for this, so we didn't get distracted while I'm teaching, but here we are, so I guess we gotta roll with it. But anyways, so we have all the queens hotkeyed, and we're still using the F keys. The other thing you need to do is you'll notice my spawn larva key is R. I think the default is V, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to want to switch that. And the reason you want to switch it is because you're going to have to alternate between the inject key and the F keys. I'll show you a little video from my camera. It's not great quality, but as you can see how it's done. And you're basically oscillating between your two fingers. Because if you use one finger, it's way too slow. So we're oscillating between those two. And I think that's pretty much it. You just got to basically practice, select your queens, inject key, F2, inject key, left click, F3, inject key, left click. So it'll take a little bit of practice, but once you get going through it, it's so fast that it's unbelievably worth it. So should look like this. You can see I'm slower on that last one. It's just a little bit harder to reach, but yeah, with enough practice, you can get pretty good at it. And maybe one more tip before I go is slant your keyboard. So traditionally, you're gonna have your keyboard pretty flat for typing, but if you want to get really good at Starcraft, it helps a lot if you tilt the keyboard to, how would I say this? The right side is gonna go up, and the left side is gonna go down. And that way, it's a little bit easier for you to hit shift keys. You can go the other way as well, I guess, but yeah, usually I think people go this way. And then it's a little bit easier to press things. It's a little bit easier to do your injects as well. So try that if you're struggling to go through the keys. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, give it a like. If you want to support my content, either get some lessons with me, check out my website, HuShangCoaching.com, or become a YouTube member. A lot of sweet perks in there, different levels. Go check it out. I think that's it. See you in the next one. Peace.